Premier League football returns to Carrow Road this weekend when Norwich City are looking to bounce back from their opening night defeat at Liverpool when they take on Newcastle, who also lost on the opening weekend. They were beaten 1-0 by Arsenal at home on Sunday. Here was the City team, which started against the European champions at Anfield, ending in a 4-1 defeat. In terms of team news, we wait for Daniel Farke's press conference on Friday, of course, and most people will be wanting to know whether Tim Klose's hip is okay, whether he'll be able to come into contention for the starting lineup. Also, Ibrahim Amadou, the new signing, will he be available for his first appearance? But Moritz Leitner also came off the bench against Liverpool and looked very bright, hit the crossbar, and Onel Hernandez and Josip Dermic both came on late on as well. So plenty of selection issues to see whether Daniel thinks it's appropriate to make some changes against Newcastle for this first home game. Here is the Newcastle team. It looks like they roughly played a 3-5-2. Of course, they've had quite an interesting summer with Rafa Benitez leaving. Some of their fans boycotting their game against Arsenal on Sunday as part of the continued protests against the ownership of Mike Ashley. That means Jose Perez and Solomon Rondon have both been sold for good money. Rondon followed Rafa Benitez to China. Jamal Lascelles in the centre of defence there. He scored the late equaliser for Newcastle the last time they came to Carrow Road, which was in February 2017. A 2-2 draw in the Championship when Benitez was leading the Magpies to the title. In terms of style, obviously it's still early in the season, so we're seeing how things settle down. They were playing Arsenal on Sunday, so unsurprisingly they only had 38% of the possession and dominated the defensive stats in terms of tackles and headers. But they did have 9 shots and 2 of those were on target, so there were some encouraging signs for the Newcastle fans that did turn up for the game on Sunday. In terms of a key man, it's difficult to look past their new club record signing, Joe Linton. £40 million they paid for him from German side Hoffenheim over the summer. He scored 11 and assisted 9 in 35 games last season. He showed some encouraging signs of good link play with Miguel Almiron, who is another big money signing. He arrived in January from US side Atlanta. And another lad to watch out for off the bench, saint-maximin, who was brought in from Nice for around 16 million this summer. He looked a real live wire off the bench during that game against Arsenal. And in terms of team news, John Joe Shelvey came off with an injury during the second half, just before Arsenal scored actually, which seemed to knock Newcastle out of their stride to a certain extent during that game. Steve Bruce has suggested that's just a minor injury, so he's one that Newcastle fans will be waiting for news of ahead of kick-off. Also, Andy Carroll, brought back to the club, former England and Liverpool striker of course, went for big money back in the day. He's been brought back to his hometown club on a free transfer. Will he be fit for his first involvement since signing? And one other line, Max Aarons, looks unlikely to be playing against his cousin again. Rolanda Aarons missed the Sheffield Wednesday game at the end of last season in the Championship where he was on loan. Reports in the North East suggest that he'll be going out on loan again before the loan window has closed for the lower league clubs. So Max misses out on the family reunion again.